let's catch up on a few things. First of all, the home theater's not done. I'm still rocking the beard. I think I might actually keep it. I kind of like it, and the friends and family feedback has been unanimous, although Mrs. Pyle, her opinion is still TBD, I think. But I'm cleaning it up, and it's not just growing crazy. But anyway, a whole bunch of stuff happening here. Item number 1, I got a new box. That, my friends, is a C18 subwoofer from Harbottle Audio. I know I already bought the Arendals, but I've been chatting with the Harbottle folks for, probably a few weeks, and really struck a good chord with some of the folks there, talking about the channel, their products, home theater, and everything in general. So that led to the opportunity to give this a formal review, a formal demo. I'm going to have it about a month. Just came yesterday. I'm going to be popping it open. There will be specific unboxing overview videos and then a full formal review video. I realized I need to get into making some like final thoughts, formal review, but for all the different stuff that I've been buying and putting in lately. So I will get to that, and very specifically, the subwoofer will get a full review separate from the vlogs. So what I end up with, keeping in the long run, maybe some Harbottles, maybe the Arendals, we'll see. But in any case, I'm really eager to open this thing up, check it out. There's some really new, unique craftsmanship and materials in there, and I'm super excited to explore that. I still have, trying to get rid of some stuff. I listed pretty much everything I have for sale. The speaker stands haven't gone yet. Notice though, getting less and less boxes in here. I still have the 2 pairs of the 906s to sell. Working on those. I boxed up the Electra 1038 BEs. They're actually upstairs. I wasn't going to carry them down and then carry them back up. Those are up for sale. We left them standing in the living room for whatever it was, maybe a week and a half there, and the family was not enthused initially. My wife, I don't think she was inclined to just say she hated them. She kind of let them breathe for the week there, but in the end, she's like, no, this doesn't really work in the room. And much as I love those speakers, I kind of have to concur. So they're going to go ahead and go, and I think maybe on a shorter term basis, I want to try to move to getting some full Cal 1000 in-walls in the living room. Maybe not Utopias, maybe I just do the IWLCR6s up there, but we'll see when I'm able to pull that off. So since the last vlog, not much has really happened inside the room. We're essentially in the same state we were before. I did not paint the speaker grills for the side rear surrounds and the tops. They're still the white. I kind of like the white. I think it plays off the trim. It gives it that Stormtrooper vibe. You don't see these speakers at all when you're sitting on the couch watching a movie. They're just something that you see when you kind of walk in and look around, and for that reason, or in that type of setting, I don't know, I think the white's pretty sharp. So I'm not under any pressure or need, I think, to be painting those anytime soon. I'm just going to leave them as they are. Still rocking the JVC NX7 up there. Spoiler alert for the channel, I'm working on Opportunity. Might have some new laser projectors from multiple companies maybe coming through my hands here soon. Still not fully formalized and finalized on that, but hopeful. I still haven't pulled the trigger on the chairs. We're still using the couch. Sometimes I find myself sitting down here saying, you know what, I'm good with the couch. I think we're okay. I don't think we need to spend the money on chairs. And then other times I'll be sitting here and it's like, man, I'm really not super comfortable. I'm sitting right in the middle. My wife's sitting way over there. I think chairs, with all of us more centralized, watching movies and stuff down here, I think they would be better. So we will see. The Arendals are still in here. Of course, that big Harbottle still in the box. And the screen. So everything in here has been working just fantastic. We've watched a handful of movies. So the way we do our entertainment picks around the family is if we're doing kind of like a family entertainment night, we rotate the selections. So my wife will pick, and then I'll pick, then my daughter, then my son, and we just kind of cycle through. And you can pick a board game, you can pick a movie, you can pick a video game, whatnot. Me and my daughter tend to pick movies. My son tends to pick video games, my wife tends to pick board games, but we mix it up too. So in the last couple of weeks here, we've watched Captain Underpants on a 4K Blu-ray rip. Oh, a 4K Blu-ray rip. I'll talk about that in a second. Looked awesome, sound awesome, worked great. We watched Howl's Moving Castle. That was my pick, Studio Ghibli title. Really enjoyed that. Actually, that was my daughter's pick. We tried to watch it on my pick. Didn't actually play very reliably. So I changed my pick. We watched the Dark Crystal. That when we actually watched on Kaleidescape. Looked great, sounded great. I wonder how many of you out there, though, maybe are a little older like me, and you had some stuff that you saw when you were kids, or you remember watching when you were kids, and then you revisit it later on, and you're like, man, what the hell? Why did I like that? And so my wife and I were pretty much appalled by the Dark Crystal. I think we scarred our children a little bit, but we stuck through it and we watched the whole movie. I've made a couple of picks from my youth now. Lately, we did The Never-Ending Story not that long ago as well. Probably one of my favorite movies when I was like 7 or 8 or whatever when that thing came out. And man, that thing was just really no good right now. Yeah, I'm getting thumbs down by the whole family for Dad's movie picks lately. So I need to step up my game as the theater techthusiast of the household. Pretty much failure mode on my movie picks. But in any case, the room is working awesome for all of the stuff that we have done down here, everything that we watched down here. Zooming in for the scope movies and such is just fantastic. I'll be breaking that down in a more technical video, how I set up the installation modes of the projector, particularly using Kaleidescape, how it even works automatically via Control4. So sweet, really great. I'm ecstatic that we redid this room. The bass hits, the sound, the detail, having the sound coming from behind the screen, just a phenomenal step up in the overall quality of the room and its performance. Man, it's awesome. And then, as I said too, the scope screen really makes it just really makes the experience a whole new game. So I did place my order for 8 of the GIK 2A panels. Those are going to go up on the ceiling here, probably right in this channel when I get them. Of course, they will not be coming soon, end of March. It's going to take a while for those. But my couple of panels that are going to go above these speakers here, there, and there, finally cover up those holes. Not do too much acoustically, but at least that'll be the last markings and marrings that are visible in here. So everything will look nice and clean. So what else is going on? We've got a couple new additions to the home theater family. Per my other videos, of course, I upgraded my NAS from a DS220 to a DS1821 Plus. We've got 3 hard drives rocking in there right now, a 12 terabyte, and an 18 terabyte. Pretty nuts that we can buy 18, even like 20 terabyte hard drives right now. So I'm doing a lot more with that for other things and related to Techthusiasm and the business, and I needed some more storage anyway. I've been experimenting with the physical media, got a whole video series that'll be related to that. I did re-add a classic Oppo player, it's a 203, and it is jailbroken, playing BD ISOs off of the NAS onto the Oppo and experimenting with that. I really want to cover the whole gamut of why people do DIY, how it really works, what the real pitfalls are, convince a couple of folks to not bother with this, and really strongly consider some other routes for their content. A whole lot more coming there. And one other change that's happening here is the Kaleidescape is going. Yes, I have sold my Strato S 6 terabyte. So what the hell, Jeremy? You're selling your Kaleidescape? Well, that comment was a little clickbaity. Yes, I'm selling the Strato S, but I'm re-upgrading my Kaleidescape install, essentially. So the one thing that I've kind of realized using Kaleidescape and using the standalone player for a while is it gives up a couple of things. 6 terabyte is a little small. I found I've gone through my collection, my Kaleidescape collection, 1,250 movies or whatever in there, and more new releases and stuff coming out. And often I find myself like, this thing's always full. And a new movie comes out, I want to download it, I got to delete something, whatever. So I think the 6 terabyte is just a little tight for me. Even when I first got it, I went through my whole collection, and it's like, okay, I want to have that one available, that one available, that one available, that one available. And I filled it up before I think I got out of the S's or the T's, going through my collection alphabetized. And I'll go into some more detail on this in the future, but the other thing that this doesn't do is it doesn't download movies super fast. So the standalone server player Kaleidescape product structure downloads a movie in about 10 minutes, give or take, depending on your internet speed, of course. This thing's more like 45, and that's really affected our ability to use it. I'm intending to pick up a Strato C player and one of the newer compact Terras. I really like the compact Terra versus the bigger. I don't think I need that much space, that many drives, and that thing powered on and running all the time. So one hard drive, a compact Terra, maybe a 12 or an 18. I'm still working on that and kind of finalizing that purchase. But I found a buyer for this actually very quickly. I think sold within 3 minutes of actually putting it up for sale. So I might be without the Kaleidescape, hopefully not more than a couple of weeks. Once I get the new models, I'm planning for probably several or more videos about kind of just the whole progression of using Kaleidescape and its main features and so on, and get into the installation modes and all of that sort of thing that are you're able to capitalize using Kaleidescape in the room right now. So there's going to be a whole lot of stuff coming about where to get content, what content you might want to be using in your theater and in your space, the merits and the benefits and the contrast and the pros and cons and such of various things, including physical media and setting up your own kind of local hosting of physical media. A whole lot coming more on Kaleidescape, and I want to do some other things with regards to streaming video and streaming quality and all of that sort of thing. So still rocking all the game systems and the PC. I just can't bring myself to make a decision. For now, let's get this Kaleidescape out, get it packed up, get it off to its new home. You know, when it comes to the home theater stuff and computers and games and technology and all this, one of the things that I can't recommend enough is when you buy something, I don't know, at least for me, I understand the fact that I don't know how long I'll end up keeping it before something new and shiny comes along and I might upgrade it or whatever. But man, I keep every box, and I have the ability, I have the space to be able to do that, thankfully. When it does come time to sell stuff, if you keep things clean and you keep them complete and you keep them together, it just makes selling so much easier, and you're going to get so much more return back from letting things go when you have the original box, the original packaging, even the plastic baggies, the zip ties, the styrofoam, and all that. You can make it look brand new. It has never failed me flipping gear, changing out equipment or whatever to keep the things as pristine as possible and keep all the accessories, keep everything together, and sell that thing like brand new, right? Minus your use, of course. When somebody sees that and it's going to come out of the box to them, just like they bought it brand new, you're going to make so much more money back. Huge aspect to my longtime use of technology and computer gear and theater gear and gaming gear and all that stuff. So massive pro tip. So I also got some new stuff to play with, and I was been moving a couple things around and doing some new calibrations. I've got here a Harbottle Audio C18 subwoofer, carbon fiber composite 18-inch driver, 2400 watt amplifier, pretty much a subwoofer beast. I have that in for demo and review. There'll be some separate unboxing videos and formal review videos, but I'm playing with it, experimenting with it right now and getting it set up. I was actually playing around with my subwoofer locations in general. On the recommendation of Harbottle, they said to start with the subwoofer corner loaded, and that front right corner is kind of the ideal placement for it. So I did move the Arendals, was experimenting with them. I moved the one that was formerly kind of just right on the edge of the carpet there. I moved that over on the angle, the corner load, that one on the left. And I did do some test run and a calibration with the second Arendal 1723 2S over in the right. I was actually having a lot of problems with Anthem ARC. I was getting real frustrated with the ARC software, the ARC Genesis software on my map, like not sending test tones when I was trying to start a measurement and trying to understand the relationship between the profiles and the measurements and the settings and so on. And so a couple of pro tips if you're experimenting or you're using an Anthem product. One thing I found that created reliability in generating test tones was always before starting an ARC setup, an ARC session, play audio that generates a signal and sound from all of your speakers. So what I was doing was just airplaying some Apple Music, some 2-channel stereo, to the AVM70, and then I would put it in the all-channel stereo mode, which turned everything on, got sound out of all of the speakers. And with my limited sample size, every time I did that, then immediately went over into Arc Genesis software and started a measurement, I would reliably get test tones out of all the speakers. And if I didn't do that, or I tried to like do a set of measurements and then leave and then come back in and do a set of measurements, a lot of times either right off the bat with the left channel or primarily with the tops for some reason, it would just do no signal, and the measurement would fail because the tone wasn't being generated. Not a problem with the microphone, a problem actually generating the test tones themselves. So all channel stereo, get a signal on all your stuff, run ARC one time all the way through, and then if you leave or exit or save and you want to come back to do ARC again, do that all channel stereo. Hopefully they fix some bugs. I'll probably see if there's some way to like report bugs to Anthem about that, because it's kind of frustrating. You should be able to just hook all this stuff up and it should just work without having to jump through hoops like that, but such is life with software and electronics sometimes. So I'm really eager to kind of dive in to the Anthem ARC results for the Arendals versus the Harbottle and that sort of thing. Ultimately, I'm going to need to make a decision about what I'm going to keep. I have 60 days to send the 1723s back, and of course the C18 right now is a demo unit, a review unit, but I may or may not purchase and keep one or more of them in the room indefinitely. I can say both of these subwoofers definitely rumble and kick some bass. With the Harbottle, I actually had to dial the gain way back in Anthem ARC to actually get it to accept the signal for a measurement. It was too hot, essentially, down to like minus 21 dB. So I need to do some finagling there, look at all the curves, maybe adjust some things, and figure out where I want the bass level back. Because the one thing that I'm kind of coming to the conclusion to is with any of the subwoofers that I've tried, any combinations, locations in the room or whatever, if you just run Anthem ARC and you dial them back and you let ARC dial them in, the bass, it's not anemic, but it definitely cuts it down. And so I think where you might set it for the purposes of calibration isn't maybe necessarily where you want your gains to be when it comes to actually watching content and enjoying bass in your room. So I have some more things to learn and kind of discover and tweak and adjust and so on in there. And I'm also really interested to try to play around with the ARC curves themselves. I think they present kind of flat, and I think I might like a little bit of more of a downward slope, like a Harman curve-esque type of slope where there's more boost in the bass, and then there's a trailing factor as you get up into the highs. So lots to play with, and definitely lots to learn in order to kind of cal this stuff and set it up and do it right. But it's all fun, although lifting 100-pound subwoofers in and out and moving them around and connecting and disconnecting isn't maybe necessarily so fun. But I was able to do it, and I've got things kind of set up now where I can put the subs in the same location and only swap one out. I'll leave this left one over here as is, just turn it on or off depending on which configuration I might actually have active or running, and I'm only moving the other subs in one position and kind of just leaving the other one relatively close to the same spot, out of the way that it's not interfering with the performance of the one that's actually connected. But I don't want to have to move these things too far around as I swap back and forth and play and experiment and ultimately arrive at some kind of a decision. So subwoofer fun.